Off the top tonight, T-minus 1 week until the former President Donald Trump goes on trial in Manhattan. Now, he's testing the limits of Judge Juan Manuel Marchán, who's overseeing the hush money case. Marchán put Trump under a gag order. Trump is not supposed to comment publicly about witnesses, jurors, court staff, and the DA's staff. Yet, Trump continues to put on social media comments about Marchán and Marchán's adult daughter. This week, Marchán extended the gag order over the protests of Trump's lawyers, and now Trump is forbidden from commenting about family members of the court and District Attorney Alvin Bragg. The order said, quote, "The average observer must now, after hearing defendants' recent attacks, draw the conclusion that if they become involved in these proceedings, even tangentially, they should worry not only for themselves, but for their loved ones as well. Such concerns will undoubtedly interfere with the fair administration of justice and constitutes a direct attack on the rule of law itself." Now, Marchán issued the gag order Monday, and it still lets Trump comment on the judge and District Attorney Alvin Bragg, just not their family members. But by Tuesday, Trump was back at it.
Last week, Trump went after the judge's daughter on Truth Social, and he got a lot of heat for this despicable personal attack. So he paused, listened to his critics, and launched another attack on the judge's daughter, this time with photos. First of all, what a tool. Second, how does he believe this is in any way going to help his case? It's like a baseball player walking up to the plate, hitting the umpire in the nuts with his bat, and then saying, "Your son is next."
Trump is truly testing the waters here. Marchán is going to have to decide whether and how he's going to enforce the gag order. He could hold Trump in contempt, which comes with a range of penalties all the way up to jail time. And in a flurry of last-minute Hail Marys to delay this trial, Trump tried to argue that he's immune from criminal prosecution. Trump's lawyers asked Marchán to delay the trial till after the Supreme Court rules on the issue, which could be as late as June. Now, a reminder, Trump's argument in the case before the Supreme Court is that he's immune from criminal prosecution for acts he committed while president that were part of his official responsibilities. That's a bit of a tougher argument to apply to the case where he's accused of covering up hush money payments to women in the run-up to the 2016 election before he became president. Now, Marchán denied the last-minute motion as untimely, saying that the timing raises, quote, "real questions about the sincerity and actual purpose of the motion." Meantime, Trump posted a $175 million bond in New York on Monday, paying only part of the $460 million that he owes after a judge found him liable for fraud. A New York appeals court said he could post less than what he owes for now while he appeals the decision. And the bond keeps New York Attorney General Letitia James from collecting on the judgment through Trump's properties or other assets.
It turns out that it sounds like he used a mix of cash and investment-grade bonds, and he ultimately got it from a company in California, which was not on the list of over 30 companies that he first reached out to try to get a bond for the higher amount. It's important to say he does still owe the entire $464 million judgment as of now.
That California company is operated by billionaire Don Henke, who made a good deal of his money off of subprime car loans. But as it turns out, Henke did not provide the court with everything that is required to post the bond. And now the judge overseeing the case has scheduled a hearing for later this month while Trump is expected to be on trial in the hush money case over whether the bond holds up. Meantime, while Trump is preparing for trial and posting a bond in the civil case, he's also defending his social media company, Truth Social. The company's stock price took a tumble this week after two brothers pleaded guilty to securities fraud related to the social media company's plan to go public. Michael and Gerald Schwartzman are charged with illegally trading on secret knowledge about the shell company that was used before the company went public. They face up to 20 years in prison. And while this is going on, Trump is now suing the co-founders of Trump Media.
He is suing them, suggesting that they did not properly set up the business in the proper way. They have about 8% stake in the company. Donald Trump has about 60% stake in the company. And when you're looking at the millions of dollars at play here, this is where it could become significant. This is its first week being traded on the stock exchange. And just yesterday alone, Donald Trump watched the value of the company drop by about 20%, which has a value of about $1 billion. And he is prevented from selling his stake in the company for at least 6 months.
Rounding out the Trump trials hat trick this week, Judge Eileen Cannon denied Trump's motion to dismiss the classified documents case in Mar-a-Lago based on the Presidential Records Act. That's a law that lets presidents keep certain records that they deem personal. The order came down Thursday, just 2 days after special counsel Jack Smith had some strong words for Cannon. Cannon asked Smith's team to propose jury instructions based on what both former judges and national security lawyers say is an incorrect interpretation of the Presidential Records Act. This week, Smith told Cannon in a filing that her legal premise is wrong and it would distort a trial. Meantime, it looks like Hunter Biden will be headed to trial this summer after a federal judge in California rejected his bid to toss the criminal tax charges against him. Judge Mark Scarzi denied 8 different motions to dismiss the charges, including Biden's argument that special counsel David Weiss was improperly appointed and is politically motivated.
Judge Scarzi gave short shrift to that argument, saying in his ruling, quote, "The motion is remarkable in that it fails to include a single declaration, exhibit, or request for judicial notice. Instead, defendant cites portions of various internet news sources, social media posts, and legal blogs. These citations, however, are not evidence."
Biden is set to go to trial in California June 20th, and he's still facing federal gun charges in Delaware. That trial's set for June 3rd.